Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're cracking open a truly transformative source, one that promises to fundamentally change how you approach, well, pretty much everything from daily challenges to your biggest aspirations. We're diving into John C. Maxwell's How Successful People Think.
Right. And this isn't just about, abstract theories. It's a remarkably practical guide. It's about sharpening your most valuable asset, your mind. Our mission today is really to distill Maxwell's core ideas into actionable, maybe even entertaining strategies you can apply to transform your daily life. We really want you to walk away not just well-informed, but with concrete tools you can use right away.
That's it, exactly. Maxwell himself puts it so simply. If you change your thinking, you can change your life. Simple but powerful. So if you're looking for a shortcut maybe to understanding how successful people operate or gaining knowledge quickly and having those aha moments that spark real change, well, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to try and make these lessons interesting, super applicable, and just easy to understand for you.
We've organized this deep dive to give you precise takeaways and real-world insights from Maxwell's work. The goal is ensuring you have immediate tools for personal and professional growth. Okay. Let's get started. Let's unpack this.
All right. Segment 1, the foundation. Why thinking matters, and some general principles for getting better at it. So Maxwell kicks off by telling us that good thinkers are always in demand. Always. And then he makes this statement that really, it stops you in your tracks. A person who knows how may always have a job, but the person who knows why will always be his boss.
Wow. Yeah.
That suggests a really profound difference, doesn't it, between just like executing a task and truly understanding the purpose, the strategy behind it. That's where the real value and, I guess, real leadership lies.
That's such a crucial distinction. Good thinkers aren't just, problem solvers. They're more than that. They're visionaries. They generate the ideas that build organizations. They provide hope for the future. Maxwell even contrasts this. It's a stark contrast with figures like Adolf Hitler. Hitler apparently boasted, "What luck for rulers that men do not think," which is chilling.
It really is.
But it highlights the sheer power of critical thought, doesn't it? Not just in, governing a nation, but in ruling oneself, in navigating difficult circumstances. This foundational idea is that how successful people think is the key differentiator. It's the engine that drives everything else. Without that inner mental clarity, that proactive thought, well, you're just reacting, right? Not truly creating or leading your own path.
So if thinking is that crucial, that powerful, why don't more people seem to do it well? It seems like it should be obvious. Maxwell gives us 3 big reasons why changing your thinking isn't exactly a walk in the park. It's definitely not a magic bullet. It's a deliberate, often challenging process.
Yeah, and that's where it gets really interesting, because understanding these reasons, I think, is the first step for you if you want to embark on this journey of improved thinking. Okay, first reason. Changed thinking is not automatic. It just isn't. Good ideas don't magically appear. They don't pop up while you're passively scrolling through your phone.
Right, no magic thinking fairy.
Exactly. You have to actively search for them. It's a continuous effort. Think of your mind like a muscle. The more you intentionally use it, seek out and process new information, the stronger it gets, and the more good ideas naturally flow. The quality of your thinking tomorrow really depends on the effort you put in today.
Okay, that makes sense. Like exercise.
Kind of, yeah. Second reason, changed thinking is difficult. As Albert Einstein famously said, thinking is hard work. That's why so few do it.
Right.
Maxwell has this funny line. He warns that if someone says, "This is just off the top of my head," you should expect dandruff.
Huh, I like that. Dandruff.
It's his way of saying that truly valuable, well-developed thoughts, they don't come from just casual, unfocused effort. It needs intentional, sustained effort. And a willingness to grapple with complex ideas, to lean into that discomfort rather than shying away from it.
Okay, so it takes real work. And the third reason?
Third, changed thinking is worth the investment. Napoleon Hill observed that more gold has been mined from the thoughts of man than has ever been taken from the earth. Think about that. Investing in your thinking. It's like discovering a diamond mine that never runs out.
Wow. Unlike actual mines.
Exactly. Unlike fleeting investments in stocks or real estate that can, go sour, or gold mines that eventually tap out, the ability to think well is a priceless, lifelong asset. It just keeps yielding returns. It can generate revenue, solve problems, create opportunities throughout your entire life. It's the ultimate long-term investment, really.
So, okay, you're ready to master this process, dig for that gold? Maxwell offers a clear path. And these aren't just abstract theories, right? These are practical steps to start reshaping your mind right now.
This is where we get into the really actionable stuff. Designed for you to implement immediately. Number 1, expose yourself to good input. This isn't just about passively consuming information, like you said. It's about actively priming the pump of ideas. That's Maxwell's phrase.
Priming the pump.
Yeah. He advises reading books, sure, but also reviewing trade magazines, listening to audio, and critically spending time with sharp minds, people who challenge you. And when something intriguing sparks your interest, maybe it's someone else's idea, maybe a seed of your own, you've got to write it down. Keep it somewhere you'll see it. This literally puts ideas in front of you, stimulates further thought, makes sure you're feeding your mind with high-quality fuel. It's about being intentional with what you let into your mental space.
Got it. Be intentional about input. What's next?
Number 2, expose yourself to good thinkers. Maxwell emphasizes this. Sharp people sharpen one another, just as iron sharpens iron. His own life is a testament to this. He intentionally surrounds himself with thinkers, his wife, business executives, people who constantly challenge him. And the truth is, you really do become like the people you spend time with.
That's a bit scary, but true.
It is. So if you want to elevate your thinking, you need to seek out friends, colleagues, maybe mentors who are also committed to growth. People who ask probing questions, push you beyond your comfort zone. This is about constantly curating your intellectual environment.
Curating your environment. Okay. Number 3.
3, choose to think good thoughts. And this means setting aside intentional thinking time. This is a discipline. It's a deliberate act. Maxwell shares this great anecdote about Dan Cathy, the president of Chick-fil-A. Cathy dedicates a specific thinking schedule. Get this, half a day every 2 weeks, 1 full day a month, and 2 to 3 full days a year, specifically for uninterrupted thinking.
Wow, that's serious dedication.
It is. He does it to keep the main thing, and combat distractions. So this means you need to schedule time for deep thinking, just like you schedule a meeting.
Yeah.
It won't just happen. You have to make it a priority. Go to your thinking place, have a pen and paper ready, capture those ideas.
Schedule it or it doesn't happen. Makes sense. Okay, 4.
4, act on your good thoughts.
Sure.
Ideas are perishable. They have a shelf life. World War I flying ace Eddie Rickenbacker had a 6-word formula for success. Think things through, then follow through.
Think things through, then follow through. Simple.
Simple, but crucial. The best ideas are the ones that actually get implemented before they expire. If you have a brilliant insight but never act on it, it's just a fleeting thought. The value isn't just in the idea itself, it's in its application. This is where thinking turns into real, tangible results.
Action is key. Okay, number 5.
5, allow your emotions to create another good thought. Now, this is interesting. Maxwell explains that you can't really feel your way into action or thinking. If you wait until you feel like thinking, you'll probably never start, let's be honest.
Yeah, never start.
Right. But once you engage in the disciplined process of good thinking, and you experience some success, even a small win, your emotions can create mental momentum. They can spur more productive ideas. It's about riding that wave of positive mental energy from a win. That initial success can fuel your enthusiasm for more deep thought. It creates this powerful, positive feedback loop.
Okay, so success breeds more success, emotionally fueling more thinking.
Yeah.
Got it. And the last one.
Number 6, repeat the process. One good idea is not enough. Success comes from continually mining that mountain of gold, not just living off one single nugget. Maxwell notes that people who rely on just one great thought for their whole career often end up unhappy or stagnant. So, to become someone who can continually generate valuable ideas, you need to build a consistent habit of good thinking. It's an ongoing discipline, not a one-time event. This continuous engagement ensures a lifetime of personal and professional growth.
Okay, that's a solid foundation. Expose yourself to good input and good thinkers. Choose to think, act on thoughts, use emotions, and repeat. Now, beyond those general principles, Maxwell gets really specific about how he personally cultivates good thoughts. He outlines a 5-step process for getting thoughts from just an idea to, like, full-blown impact. This isn't just what you think, but where and how you actively facilitate that thinking to maximize its potential.
Exactly. And this is a fantastic, really practical framework for you to adopt. It's all about creating a system, right? A system that supports your best thinking, makes it a natural, productive part of your life. Step 1, find a place to think your thoughts. This step is about consistently generating ideas. For Maxwell, it could be his car, planes, the spa, even his bed. He keeps a lighted writing pad there.
A lighted writing pad, that's commitment.
Isn't it? But the key is having a designated place and making it a habit to go there, expecting ideas to flow. It's not about waiting for inspiration to strike. It's about actively creating the conditions for inspiration to arrive. Maxwell found that when he consistently found a place to think his thoughts found a place in him. The more you consistently visit your thinking place, the more your mind associates that space with generating valuable ideas.
Find your spot.
Okay, step 2.
Step 2. Find a place to shape your thoughts. Ideas are rarely born perfect, right? They need scrutiny, like raw diamonds needing cutting and polishing. This is about asking questions, fine-tuning, and most importantly, writing your thoughts down. You have to write them. S.I. Hayakawa's quote captures this perfectly. Learning to write is learning to think. You don't know anything clearly unless you can state it in writing.
That is so true. Writing forces clarity. It really does. Writing forces you to be clear, helps identify gaps or weaknesses in your ideas. It brings a sense of humility sometimes, seeing flaws, but also excitement as you refine and envision their potential. And this shaping process, it needs to happen in a place that allows for writing, focus, and questioning, free from interruption. Your shaping place might be different from your generating place.
Generating place, shaping place.
Okay.
But step 3.
Step 3, find a place to stretch your thoughts with others.
Collaboration. This is where the magic happens, right? Maxwell admits he used to make the mistake of trying to perfect an idea totally alone, just trying to take a seed thought all the way to a solution without involving anyone.
And he learned the hard way, apparently, that you go much farther with a team. He offers this powerful formula: the right thought plus the right people, plus in the right environment, plus at the right time, plus for the right reason, the right result. It's all about leveraging that collective intelligence to expand ideas to their greatest potential. Like every person, every thought has the potential to become something great. When you find a place to stretch your thoughts with others, you unlock that potential. You benefit from diverse perspectives, different experiences. This synergistic environment lets ideas spark off each other, leading to breakthroughs you just wouldn't achieve in isolation.
Love that. Stretch with others. Step 4.
Step 4, find a place to land your thoughts for application.
Exactly. Because great ideas are, frankly, useless if they never leave your head. This is about taking an idea from abstraction to application. You mentioned Einstein earlier. His theory of relativity was profound, but its true power came with practical applications, like the nuclear reactor. An idea needs to touch reality to make an impact.
Precisely. To make an impact, your ideas need landing gear. You need to land them with a few key groups. First, land them with yourself. Do you truly believe it? Do you live it? Do you believe others should live it? This builds integrity. People buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. If you can't answer yes to all 3, you haven't truly landed it with yourself.
Got to believe it yourself first. Makes sense.
Then, land them with key players. These are the influencers, the people who can carry the idea from concept to implementation. Without their buy-in, their ownership, the idea just won't fly. They're critical for turning thought into action within an organization.
Get the key people on board.
And finally, land them with those most affected. This is the reality read from people on the firing line, as Maxwell calls them. These are the individuals closest to the changes the idea will bring. Even really well-developed ideas can miss the mark without this vital feedback. Their perspective ensures the idea is practical and resonant where it matters most.
The reality check. Okay, yourself, key players, those affected, and the last step.
Step 5. Find a place to fly your thoughts.
This is the ultimate goal, right? Productive action. Thinking divorced from actions cannot be productive. All that creating, shaping, stretching, landing, it all leads here, where the idea is truly launched.
Exactly. When you diligently create, shape, stretch, and land your thoughts, flying them becomes, as Maxwell says, fun and easy. It's about developing the discipline of good thinking into a lifelong habit, leading to sustained success and productivity. This final step is where all the hard work of thinking pays off. It transforms potential into tangible, real-world impact. It's the culmination where your insights take wing and actually make a difference.
Okay, a 5-step process. Find a place to think, shape, stretch, land, and fly your thoughts. Very practical. Now, moving into segment 3, Maxwell argues that good thinking isn't just one monolithic skill. It's actually a combination of 11 specific learnable abilities. And the great news is, no matter your background or current circumstances, you can learn and develop these. They are teachable and acquirable.
That's right. So we're going to break down each of these 11 skills. We'll focus on their practical benefits and, most importantly, how you can cultivate them in your daily life. The goal is transforming your mindset and, ultimately, your results.
All right, let's dive into the skills. First up, cultivate big picture thinking. This is chapter 1 in the book.
Yes, big picture thinking. This is all about perspective, expanding your frame to see more and therefore do more. Like the examples you gave earlier, Jack Welch prioritizing the customer relationship over a single sale, or parents seeing party training struggles as just a temporary season.
Right, not getting bogged down in the immediate. Donald Trump apparently quipped, "You have to think anyway, so why not think big?"
Huh, well, yeah. Big picture thinkers are lifelong learners. They're never satisfied with what they already know. They constantly visit new places, read new books, meet new people to, connect the unconnected. And this expansive view, it allows them to lead effectively. They see the vision first. They can sketch the path forward, seize the right moment. Think of Churchill during his finest hour, seeing beyond the immediate despair to a grander vision of victory, inspiring a whole nation.
Powerful example.
And for you, this means your daily actions will be kept on target, ensuring all the small things you do actually go in the right direction. It also allows you to see what others see, fostering that empathy, which is so vital for relationships, teamwork, everything.
So how do you acquire this big picture wisdom? If you feel stuck in the weeds sometimes, how do you gain this broader perspective?
Okay, here's how you can start cultivating it. First, don't strive for certainty. Get comfortable with ambiguity, with juggling seemingly contradictory thoughts. Big picture thinkers think broadly. They deal with complex, diverse ideas. If you insist on having all the answers immediately, you just limit your scope. You miss out on innovative solutions.
Be comfortable with uncertainty.
Okay.
Second, learn from every experience, both successes and failures. Stay teachable. Get out there, try things, take chances, and then reflect on what happened, both the wins and the losses. Varied experiences are crucial for broadening your outlook and connecting seemingly disparate ideas.
Reflect on everything. Got it.
And third, give yourself permission to expand your world. Go against the flow sometimes. Break new ground. Society often tries to keep people in boxes, right? Valuing the status quo. You need to give yourself permission to go a different way, to find new areas to explore, and to celebrate when your world gets bigger. Keep learning, keep growing, keep actively looking at the big picture.
Okay, great advice. Moving on to the second skill. Engage in focused thinking. Chapter 2. Focused thinking. This is about removing distractions, mental clutter, so you can concentrate with real clarity. Think of Charles Dickens, who apparently did each thing as if he did nothing else. Total focus.
That sounds nice, but it's a huge challenge today, with all the multitasking and constant notifications.
It truly is. The philosopher Bertrand Russell asserted, to be able to concentrate for a considerable time is essential to difficult achievement. For you, focused thinking harnesses your energy toward a desired goal. Whether it's, refining a golf swing or a complex manufacturing process, the harder the problem, the more focus you need. It gives your ideas the dedicated time they need to develop from just good to really great. And crucially, it brings immense clarity to your target. It helps you define and achieve your goals with precision. Without it, you just get frustration and, well, poor play. It's the key to taking you to the next level.
But like you said, you can't focus on everything. Maxwell suggests narrowing it down. So where should you really be directing that precious mental energy?
Right. You have to be selective, not exhaustive. 2 key areas. First, identify your priorities. For yourself, your family, your team. Don't let others set your agenda or just land on priorities because you ran out of steam. Focus on your strength, the areas of highest return, like the 80-20 rule, or those truly exceptional opportunities. Give your attention where it bears the most fruit.
Focus on priorities and strengths. Okay.
Second, develop your dream. If a particular area keeps drawing your thinking, keeps pulling you in, give it more focus time. Once you find it, Maxwell says, don't look back. Something might be gaining on you. The older and more experienced you get, the more crucial focus becomes. Young people might explore broadly, which is fine, but as you mature, focus becomes key to higher achievement and deeper impact.
Okay, focus on priorities, strengths, and your dream. But once you know what to focus on, how do you stay in the zone? That's the daily battle.
Ah, yes, the battle. This is critical for you to implement consistently. Maxwell suggests a few things. 1, remove distractions. Practice prioritizing first things first, not just what's easy, hard, or screaming the loudest. Insulate yourself. Maxwell creates blocks of time by being unavailable, going to his thinking place. He talks about this tension between being accessible and needing to withdraw. You need value for both. His advice: wherever you are, be there. If you're with people, be present. If you're thinking, be focused.
Be present. I like that.
2, make time for focused thinking. We know multitasking costs up to 40% efficiency. It feels productive, but it's often not. So reserve your best time, maybe mornings for you, for focused thinking. Try a no email until 10 a.m. rule or something similar to dedicate your prime hours to your most important work.
Guard your best hours. Makes sense.
3, keep items of focus before you. Use visual reminders, a file on your desk, a note on your monitor, maybe an assistant who prompts you. Maxwell has apparently used this strategy for 30 years to stimulate and sharpen ideas. This consistent visual cue keeps your priorities front and center.
Okay, remove distractions, make time, keep focus visible. Now, this next insight from Maxwell really struck me as surprising but critical. What are you giving up to go up? He asserts that to achieve excellence in a few things, he had to consciously give up many others. That's counterintuitive for some.
It really is, but it's powerful. He shares what he personally gave up to focus on his core strengths: leadership, creativity, communication, networking. For instance, he embraced that he can't know everyone. He chose instead to focus on a strong inner circle for professional help and personal enjoyment. He relies on friends to catch him up on others.
Okay, focus the relationships.
Right. He also recognized he can't do everything. He delegates projects he'd actually love to do himself. He uses his 10-80-10 principle, cast vision for the first 10%, let others do the heavy lifting for the middle 80%, then help with the cherry on top for the last 10%.
Smart delegation?
And he also realized he can't be well-rounded. This might sound odd, but he chose to focus intensely on the 1% that gives the highest return, relying on his wife, Margaret, to keep him aware of the other 99%. And this raises that important question for you, the listener. What are you willing to give up to go to the next level? What good things might you need to sacrifice for the best things in your life?
That's a tough question. Really makes you think. Okay, skill number 3. Harness creative thinking. Chapter 3.
Creativity. Pure gold, as Maxwell calls it. Annette Moser-Wellman says your creativity is your most valuable resource. It's not just about execution, but the ideas you generate.
But how do you tap into it? Especially if you feel like, oh, I'm not really a creative person.
Well, Maxwell says creative thinking isn't necessarily about inventing something entirely new out of thin air. It's often a composite of other thoughts. Think of great artists building on their masters. It's about connecting existing ideas in novel ways. Creative thinkers, for example, they embrace ambiguity. They aren't bothered by uncertainty. They actually delight in exploring gaps and filling them in with imagination. H.L. Mencken famously said, "It is the dull man who is always sure, and the sure man who is always dull."
Huh. Okay, embrace the unknown.
Exactly. They also don't fear failure. This is huge. Creativity inherently equals failure sometimes because it demands a willingness to look stupid, to get out on a limb knowing it might break. Charles Frankel said, "Anxiety is the essential condition of intellectual and artistic creation." They don't let a few bad ideas stop them from pursuing the good ones.
Okay, so why should you actively try to discover the joy of creative thinking? What are the practical benefits for you?
Well, for you, creative thinking does a few key things. First, it adds value to everything. It's about seeing what everyone else has seen, but thinking what nobody else has thought. So you can do what nobody else has done. Whether it's invention or innovation, old things in new ways, it always adds value. It gives you this limitless reservoir of ideas.
Limitless ideas.
Nice. Second, it compounds. As Maxwell says, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. It actually builds on itself, increasing your creative capacity over time.
The more you use, the more you have.
Interesting. And third, it draws people to you and your ideas. Maxwell quotes, "Creativity is intelligence having fun." And people are naturally attracted to intelligence and fun. Think Leonardo da Vinci, his diverse ideas, his inventive spirit made him incredibly attractive and influential.
Intelligence having fun. Okay, so how do you actually discover this joy? How do you put it into practice, especially if you feel blocked?
Right. Here's where you can start cultivating it. First, and this is critical, remove creativity killers. Maxwell lists these phrases you have to avoid, both from others and, maybe more importantly, from yourself. Things like, "I'm not a creative person, follow the rules, don't be different, that's not logical, it's never been done, we tried that before, failure is final."
Oof, I think we've all heard or said those.
Absolutely. Don't let yourself or others talk you out of a great idea, even if it sounds foolish initially. These phrases just shut down imagination and keep you stuck in old ruts. Second, develop a creative environment. Think of it like a greenhouse for ideas. It needs to be an environment that encourages creativity, values trust and individuality, embraces creative people, even the offbeat ones. It focuses on innovation, not just invention. It's willing to let people go outside the lines, recognizing most limitations are self-imposed, and it appreciates the power of a dream. A negative environment can kill thousands of great ideas.
Create a safe space for ideas.
Precisely. Third, spend time with other creative people. Creativity is contagious. Brainstorming sessions where ideas spark off each other are incredibly powerful. Maxwell makes sure he spends regular time with his creative inner circle. You will think like the people you spend the most time with, so seek out those who inspire innovation.
Surround yourself with creative sparks.
And fourth, get out of your box. Break out of your own history, your personal limitations. Expose yourself to new paradigms. Travel to new places. Explore other cultures. Read on new subjects, even things totally outside your interests. Maxwell forces himself to read broadly. Don't let self-imposed rules hinder you. As Katharine Hepburn apparently said, if you obey all the rules, you will miss all the fun.
Get out of the box, have some fun. Great advice. Okay, skill number 4. Employ realistic thinking. Chapter 4. This one sounds less fun.
Huh? Yeah, it might sound less fun than creativity, but Maxwell insists it's absolutely essential. Max Dupree once said, "The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality." It's about facing the stark difference between what we wish for and what actually is. Maxwell admits he initially avoided it. He thought it was too negative. But he realized it's a non-negotiable foundation for real success.
So he had a journey with it himself.
He did. He went from avoiding it to delegating it to finally embracing it as a continual foundation. He now encourages his leaders to do the same, finding certainty and security in it. For you, realistic thinking is critical because, 1, it minimizes downside risk. By recognizing and planning for consequences, especially the worst-case scenario, you anticipate and prepare, rather than being caught by surprise.
Plan for the worst.
2, it gives you a clear target and game plan, because hope is simply not a strategy, right? James Allen wisely said, "Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment." Realism leads to defined targets and efficient plans. And 3, it brings the dream to fruition. Idealism without reality won't achieve dreams. Realistic thinking paves the way for actual accomplishment. You have to get close enough to both the problem and the dream to tackle it realistically.
So how do you recognize and embrace this importance of realistic thinking, especially if you're maybe a natural optimist like Maxwell used to be? How do you get real?
Okay, for you, these steps are key. First, develop an appreciation for truth. Get comfortable dealing with the truth, even if, as the saying goes, it will set you free, but first it will make you angry. People tend to exaggerate success and minimize failures. Winston Churchill noted, "Men occasionally stumble over the truth, but most pick themselves up and hurry off as if nothing has happened." You need to face up to the truth.
You want to hurry off, face the truth.
Right. Second, do your homework. Get the facts. Don't rely on faulty data or assumptions. Learn from others who faced similar situations. Maxwell quips, "Some of my best thinking has been done by others." Solid thinking requires solid data.
Learn from others' homework. Smart.
Third, picture the worst-case scenario. Ask those specific, maybe uncomfortable questions. What if sales fall short? What if revenue hits rock bottom? What if nobody shows up? The goal isn't negativity. It's preparedness. It's readiness for anything. This process helps you experience a true reality check and provides security in uncertainty.
Okay, face the worst case. Any real-world examples?
Yeah, Maxwell points to the enhanced security at the 2002 Super Bowl in New Orleans, right after 9/11. That's a prime example. Officials meticulously planned for the worst-case scenario. Blocking roads, closing interstates, deploying sharpshooters, implementing thorough pat-downs, and this intense, realistic preparation. It led to confidence and a feeling of safety among attendees. It sent a clear message. New Orleans was the safest place in America that day. It shows how proactive, realistic thinking provides stability, even in really uncertain times.
Powerful example of realistic planning in action. Okay, skill 5, utilize strategic thinking.
Yeah.
Chapter 5. That quote you mentioned earlier comes back to me. Most people spend more time planning their summer vacation than planning their lives. Ouch.
It does hit home, doesn't it? Strategic thinking isn't just for military generals or huge corporations. It's essential for your life. Maxwell calls it planning on steroids. He himself plans his life 40 days at a time, blocking out time for everything: travel, family, projects, meetings, even fun. He gets a jump on the next month, avoids surprises. It's one reason he accomplishes so much.
Planning 40 days out. Wow.
For you, strategic thinking first simplifies the difficult. It breaks complex issues down into manageable parts. Maxwell uses systems like his 1,200-file organization system for writing lessons, making a daunting task simple. Henry Ford's assembly line is another classic example. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs.
Break it down.
Second, it prepares you today for an uncertain tomorrow. It's the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. It's like saddling your dreams before you ride them, giving direction and credibility to your aspirations. And third, it gives you influence with others, the person with a clear, well-thought-out plan. They have power. They inspire confidence. People want to follow leaders with a clear vision, whether in business, ministry, or even just planning a family vacation. A leader without a plan quickly loses respect.
The person with the plan has the power.
Okay.
So how do you actually release this power of strategic thinking in your own life? How do you move beyond just winging it?
Okay, here are the practical guidelines for you. 1, break down the issue. Divide it into smaller, more manageable parts, maybe by function or timetable or who's responsible or the purpose of each part. Most people can't juggle the whole thing in their heads at once. Breaking it down makes it actionable and less intimidating.
Smaller chunks. Makes sense.
2, ask why before how. Don't jump straight to solutions. Understand the reasons behind decisions first. Eugene G. Grace, a great engineer, said the best engineer knows if, where, and when a bridge should be built, not just how to build it. Asking why helps identify bigger opportunities and prevents you from solving the wrong problem.
Why before how?
Crucial. 3, identify the real issues and objectives. Maxwell stresses, before it can be solved, a problem must be clearly defined. Challenge your assumptions, collect information, try to remove your personal agenda. Solutions often become surprisingly simple once the real problem is identified.
Define the real problem first.
4, put the right people in the right place. This is huge. Even the best strategic plan will fail with the wrong people involved. Maxwell puts it bluntly. Wrong person, problems, wrong place, frustration, wrong plan, grief. All 3 elements, person, place, plan, need to align for success.
Person, place, plan alignment. Okay. Any examples here?
Yeah, think about the Maxwell House Haggadah during Passover. That was a strategic move made 80 years ago. Getting kosher certification, offering free informational booklets. It helped them sell coffee by aligning perfectly with a deep cultural tradition during a specific time, and it still yields results today. It's a perfect illustration of the lasting power of a well-thought-out, culturally sensitive strategy.
Amazing. 80 years later. Okay, skill number 6, explore possibility thinking.
No.
Chapter 6. This sounds more upbeat.
It definitely is. This is about believing in solutions, achieving the seemingly impossible. Think George Lucas making Star Wars, defying all the experts who said the special effects couldn't be done. It's the ultimate antidote to it can't be done.
Right. And you mentioned earlier, even if you're naturally pessimistic, Maxwell says this is a choice. George Lucas himself isn't naturally positive. He chooses optimism as a defense against cynicism. He found it worked.
That's such a powerful point. People who embrace possibility thinking can accomplish tasks that seem impossible simply because they fundamentally believe in solutions. For you, becoming a possibility thinker does several things. 1, it increases your possibilities. Success opens doors. Just look at Lucas, his ILM company, all the Star Wars merchandising, his influence on cinema. It all stemmed from his belief in the impossible. When you believe you can do something difficult and succeed, new doors just open up.
Success breeds opportunity.
2, it allows you to dream big dreams. Professor David J. Schwartz says big thinkers specialize in creating positive, forward-looking, optimistic pictures. Your dreams can truly go from molehill to mountain size when you embrace possibilities. And 3, crucially, it gives you energy and keeps you from giving up. You invest yourself where you believe success is possible. Nobody chases a lost cause, right? As Maxwell says, winners in life think constantly in terms of I can, I will, and I am. Losers concentrate on what they should have done or what they don't do. Belief in possibility is truly half the battle won.
I can, I will, I am. Okay, so if it's a choice, how do you actually make that choice? How do you feel the energy of possibility thinking in your own life?
Okay, if you want possibility thinking to really work for you, Maxwell suggests starting here. 1, stop focusing on the impossibilities. Actively eliminate those negative thoughts. When your mind starts listing all the things that can go wrong, consciously stop it and ask, okay, but what's right about this? What could work? You could even enlist a friend to be like a coach, alerting you to negative self-talk.
Catch the negative thoughts.
2, stay away from the experts sometimes. So-called experts often shoot down dreams because they're grounded in current reality. Wernher von Braun, the rocket scientist, said, I have learned to use the word impossible with the greatest of caution. Napoleon Bonaparte famously declared, "The word impossible is not in my dictionary. Give yourself permission to believe, regardless of what others say."
Don't let experts kill the dream.
3. Dream one size bigger. Most people dream too small, Maxwell believes. Push yourself to imagine your goals at least a step beyond what makes you comfortable. This forces growth. Henry Curtis advises making your plans 10 times as great. Aim higher.
Dream bigger. Got it.
4. Find inspiration from great achievers. Study people you admire, people like George Lucas or Robert F. Kennedy, who famously asked, "Why not?" This isn't about just being trendy. It's about genuinely believing you can achieve great things by seeing how others did.
Learn from the greats. Any examples for possibility thinking?
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani's leadership after 9/11 is a powerful illustration here, too. Apparently, he was inspired by Winston Churchill during the Blitz. Giuliani focused intensely on rebuilding the spirit of NYC by helping people see possibilities amidst the devastation. He specifically read Churchill's biography during that time to learn how to keep people's spirits up. It shows how possibility thinking can be learned, chosen, and applied even in the absolute direst circumstances.
Wow, that's incredibly relevant. Okay, skill 7. Learn from reflective thinking. Chapter 7. In our super fast-paced world, action often trumps thought. But this skill, it's like a crock pot of the mind, right? Letting thoughts simmer and deepen.
Exactly. It's about learning from both successes and mistakes. Socrates famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Reflective thinking is that examination. It's a valuable exercise to mentally revisit past situations to gain greater understanding. For you, reflective thinking does a few key things. 1, it gives you true perspective. It helps you evaluate experiences, timing, appreciate things often taken for granted, like looking back on a vacation and asking, "What did I learn?" Not just, "Where did I go?"
Gain perspective.
2, it increases your confidence in decision-making. Once you reflect on past decisions and their outcomes, you gain these mental road markers. They speed up future thinking and strengthen your intuition. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time because you've already processed the learning.
Build confidence through reflection.
And 3, crucially, it takes a good experience and makes it a valuable experience. Maxwell says experience is a jewel, but it's the insight people gain because of their experience. Think of Mark Twain's famous cat on a hot stove. It learns not to sit on hot stoves, sure, but it also learns to avoid cold ones. Reflection turns that raw experience into usable wisdom that informs future actions, making it truly valuable, not just a memory.
Turn experience into wisdom. Okay, how do you actually embrace these lessons? If reflection doesn't come naturally, what's the secret?
Okay, for you. 1, set aside time for reflection. It just won't happen automatically. You have to carve out specific time, even short blocks. For most people, reflection feels a bit uncomfortable, maybe unproductive initially, so you must be intentional about scheduling it.
Schedule reflection time.
2, remove yourself from distractions. Reflection requires solitude. No TV, no open office chaos, no ringing phones, no kids interrupting if possible. Maxwell uses his spa, a backyard rock, his office chair after hours. The place doesn't matter as much as the solitude from interruptions. Find your quiet spot.
Find solitude.
3, regularly review your calendar or journal. Don't just use them for planning future events. Use them to review where you've been. Ask, did my activities match my priorities? Am I making progress? Recall forgotten activities, capture significant thoughts and action points that emerge during the review.
Review the past.
4, ask the right questions. The quality of your reflection depends heavily on the questions you ask yourself. Maxwell suggests categories like personal growth, adding value, leadership, or using structured systems like Dick Biggs's Year Turning Point Impact. These structured questions help you mine gold from your experiences.
Ask good questions.
And 5, cement your learning through action. Writing down thoughts is good, definitely, but acting on those insights is what creates real growth. Maxwell marks takeaways in books, records lessons learned, uses a system of symbols for notes in seminars, like an arrow means review this, an asterisk means file this, a bracket means use this in a lecture. Don't just get temporary motivation from an insight, reflect, then apply it to actually change your life.
Act on the insights. Got it. Ultimately, reflective thinking gives perspective, connects you to your journey, and provides critical direction for your future. Seems like an invaluable tool for your personal growth. Okay, skill number 8. Question popular thinking. Chapter 8.
Ah, yes. Challenging the status quo. Economist John Maynard Keynes said the difficulty isn't developing new ideas, but escaping from the old ones. This chapter really challenges us to step outside the mainstream, which can be, uncomfortable.
Definitely uncomfortable sometimes.
Right. Maxwell argues popular thinking is often too average, too inflexible, too lazy, too small, too satisfied, too traditional. The list goes on. He says if you want to be a good thinker, you have to be prepared to be unpopular sometimes. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone. For you, questioning popular thinking is crucial because, one, it sometimes means not thinking at all. Kevin Myers notes, the problem with popular thinking is that it doesn't require you to think at all. People often follow trends blindly, like stock market advice that's already old news without doing their own critical thinking.
Following the herd without thinking.
Exactly. 2, popular thinking offers false hope. Maxwell uses the anecdote of the physics teacher. With the lens cap still on the telescope, students pretended to see something just because others claim they did. Popularity doesn't equal intelligence or correctness. Think of historical examples. Earth as the center of the universe, unsanitary surgery practices. Widely accepted, but fundamentally wrong. There's a huge difference between acceptance and intelligence.
Popular doesn't mean right.
And 3, popular thinking brings only average results. Popular, normal equals average. It's often about putting in the least energy just to get by. If you want uncommon results, you have to reject common, average thinking and its inherent mediocrity.
To be above average, think differently than average. Makes sense. So how do you actually question the acceptance of popular thinking? How do you achieve those uncommon results?
Okay, for you, Maxwell suggests. 1, think before you follow. Don't just follow automatically because it's the path of least resistance, or you fear rejection, or you believe there's safety in numbers. Instead, consciously stop and think what's actually best here. His example after 9/11 is relevant again. Popular thinking said avoid NYC. He and his wife went against the grain, got cheap flights, half-price hotels, even snagged last-minute tickets to the hit show The Producers. Unpopular thinking can unlock vision and opportunity. It's often underrated and misunderstood.
Think first, don't just follow.
2, continually question your own thinking. This is tough. Maxwell says, the greatest enemy to tomorrow's success is sometimes today's success. If you were involved in creating what currently exists, you might naturally resist changing it. Don't get too attached to your own past thinking. Every tradition was once a good idea, but it might not be the best idea for the future.
Challenge your own assumptions.
And 3, get used to being uncomfortable. Popular thinking feels comfortable, like a familiar old recliner. But that recliner might be outdated or preventing you from moving forward. Rejecting it in favor of achievement often means embracing discomfort. Maxwell suggests if you embrace unpopular thinking, you'll likely find you'll be better than you thought you could be in the long run.
Embrace the discomfort.
Okay.
Skill number 9, benefit from shared thinking. Chapter 9. That quote comes to mind. None of us is as smart as all of us. From Ken Blanchard.
Exactly. That perfectly encapsulates this skill. It's all about collective intelligence, leveraging others' minds. Good thinkers and leaders understand the compounding results you get from shared thinking. When they genuinely value the ideas of others, they accomplish far more than they ever could alone. For you, participating in shared thinking offers huge advantages. 1, it is faster than solo thinking. Think about learning a new skill. It's always faster to learn from someone with experience than to figure it all out yourself from scratch. Collaboration is often a shortcut in our fast-paced world.
Faster together.
2, it is more innovative than solo thinking. Real innovation often comes from collaboration. Einstein himself acknowledged building on the labors of others. Think of famous duos, Marie and Pierre Curie, Lennon and McCartney. Combining thoughts, different perspectives, leads to ideas you'd simply never have alone.
More innovative together.
And 3, Maxwell argues it is the only way to have truly great thinking. He says every great idea begins with 3 or 4 good ideas. Ben Jonson noted, he that is taught only by himself has a fool for a master. Collective thinking almost always improves answers and solutions.
Great thinking requires others. Okay, so how do you encourage this participation? How do you create an environment where collaboration actually thrives in your life or work?
Okay, here's how you foster it. 1, value the ideas of others. This is absolutely foundational. You have to ask yourself honestly, am I emotionally secure enough not to worry about my status or who gets credit? Do I genuinely value people and listen to them, want to help them? Do I value the interactive process itself, the synergy, not just who came up with the final idea? You must be genuinely open to input.
Value others' ideas.
Yeah.
Check the ego.
2, move from competition to cooperation. Seek ideas indiscriminately. Focus on helping the team win, not just personal gain. Praise the idea itself, not just the person who sourced it. Jeffrey J. Fox wisely advises, it doesn't matter who thought of an idea. If the best idea always wins, regardless of source, everyone will share their thoughts with much greater enthusiasm.
Cooperation over competition.
3. Get the right people around the table. This is crucial. Don't choose collaborators based just on friendship or convenience. Choose people who genuinely desire the idea's success, can actually add value, can handle quick changes or pivots, appreciate others' strengths, understand their own value, prioritize the team goal, help bring out the best thinking in others, have relevant maturity and experience, take ownership, and leave the room with a we attitude, not an I attitude. Who you invite makes all the difference.
Choose the right team carefully.
4. Compensate good thinkers and collaborators well. Recruit and hire people who naturally value collaboration and are emotionally secure. Pay them well, recognize their contributions, and continually challenge them to share their thoughts often. Maxwell believes nothing adds value like a lot of good thinkers putting their minds together effectively.
Value and reward collaboration. Shared thinking seems to be why Maxwell is so passionate about teaching leadership, right? Putting the right people together.
Exactly. He says, good leadership helps to put together the right people at the right time for the right purpose so that everybody wins. It's all about synergy and creating a win for everyone involved.
Okay, skill number 10. Practice unselfish thinking. Chapter 10. This sounds like it goes beyond just success.
It really does. This kind of thinking redefines success, often delivering a greater return, maybe not financially, but in fulfillment than any other type. It's about more than just personal achievement. It's about deep fulfillment and creating a lasting legacy. For you, unselfish thinking brings, 1, immense personal fulfillment. Maxwell quotes, "Getters generally don't get happiness, givers get it." Helping others brings a unique, deep satisfaction. When you serve others unselfishly, you lay your head down at night with fewer regrets. Even a Scrooge character can change, like Alfred Nobel creating his Peace Prizes after mistakenly reading his own premature critical obituary.
Fulfillment through giving.
2, it adds significant value to others. Bessie Anderson Stanley's definition of success includes who has left the world better than he found it, who has always looked for the best in others and given them the best he had. When you contribute positively to others' lives, you truly begin to live more meaningfully. And 3, it creates a lasting legacy. Think of that learn, earn, return philosophy Jack Belusek mentioned. Investing in others, helping them grow, creates a legacy that outlives you and your material possessions. If you want to do more than leave an inheritance, you need to leave something in others.
Leave something in others.
Yeah.
Powerful. How do you experience this profound satisfaction? How do you cultivate unselfish thinking day to day?
Okay, Maxwell suggests these practices. 1, put others first. This requires genuine humility and a fundamental shift in focus. Ken Blanchard and Norman Vincent Peale wisely noted, people with humility don't think less of themselves. They just think of themselves less. Focus on others' needs and growth, not just your own wants, as the Apostle Paul exhorted.
Think of yourself less.
2, expose yourself to situations where people have needs. Volunteer at a local charity, a food bank. Offer your professional services pro bono sometimes. The kind of giving isn't as important as cultivating the habit of being a giver. You need to see needs firsthand to truly address them and develop empathy.
Get close to the needs.
3, invest in people intentionally. This is perhaps the highest level of unselfish thinking, actively investing your time, energy, and resources in another person's development. Think of marriage or parenting often. Your time is far more valuable than your money. In relationships, pursue a win-win scenario, but Maxwell says unselfish thinkers make sure the other person wins first.
Invest in people. Ensure they win first.
And 4, continually check your motives. It's really easy to slide back into selfishness. It's human nature. François de la Rochefoucauld observed centuries ago, what seems to be generosity is often no more than disguised ambition. Benjamin Franklin kept himself on track with daily questions. What good am I going to do today? In the morning, and what good have I done today? In the evening.
Check your motives daily. Any examples here?
Yeah, the outpouring of unselfish thinking and giving after 9/11 is a really powerful collective example. Maxwell's own company raised $5.9 million for relief efforts. And think of the tireless, selfless work of the first responders at Ground Zero. It demonstrated a profound commitment to humanity. Horace Mann said, "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. You can give to others in many different ways, big and small."
Inspiring stuff. Okay, the final skill, number 11. Rely on bottom line thinking. Chapter 11.
Bottom line thinking. This is about how you measure success beyond just profit, though profit can be a bottom line. Maxwell says the bottom line is really the end goal, the main takeaway, the ultimate desired result for any activity, whether it's work, family life, or volunteer efforts. It's about knowing your ultimate purpose and measuring against it.
Knowing the ultimate purpose.
Exactly. Frances Hesselbein, who famously transformed the Girl Scouts, achieved it by defining their clear bottom line: to help a girl reach her highest potential. That simple, powerful mission clarified everything from management structure to badge activities. It even led to tripling minority participation because everything was measured against that core goal. For you, bottom line thinking provides 1, great clarity. It allows for quick, easy measurement of outcomes, like bowling, Maxwell says, where you know the results in 3 seconds. It ensures all your activities are purposeful, driving towards that larger, clear goal.
Clarity through the bottom line.
2, it helps you make the best decisions, because knowing the bottom line makes it easy to say no to things that don't align. The Girl Scouts, for example, could easily resist pressure to become political activists because it didn't fit their bottom line of helping girls reach their potential. It promotes focus and fervor. And 3, it ensures your future. Successful, lasting companies define and build everything around their core bottom line. If you want to be successful tomorrow, Maxwell argues, you need to be thinking about your bottom line today.
Okay, so how do you enjoy this incredible return? How do you apply bottom line thinking effectively?
Okay, here's how. 1, identify the real bottom line. Strip away the fluff the secondary wants, the emotions, the internal politics. Ask, what are we really trying to achieve here? What is the true essence of the goal? What absolutely must occur for this to be considered a success? Be as specific and clear as possible.
Get to the real essence.
2, make the bottom line the point. Purpose and profit, if applicable, should serve each other, not compete. Remember George W. Meek's quote, "Medicine is for the people. It is not for the profits. The profits follow. Your attention, your team's attention, shouldn't be divided, or the core mission will suffer."
Keep the main thing the main thing.
3, align team members with the bottom line. Everyone on the team needs to know the big goal and their specific individual role and personal bottom line in achieving it. When everyone understands the overall goal and their part in reaching it, morale naturally soars because they see how their work contributes.
Align the team.
And 4, stick with one system and monitor results continually. Don't keep mixing systems or constantly changing the goalposts. Bottom line thinking needs to be built into a consistent lifestyle of working and achieving. Dave Sutherland, a former president of Maxwell's company, apparently used to call his team members nightly just to ask the bottom line question related to their work, ensuring constant focus. It needs to be a continuous discipline, a way of life.
Stick with it. Monitor constantly. Wow. Bottom line thinking seems like a really powerful, practical tool to turn ideas into results and achieve your full potential. It really provides maximum return on your thinking. Okay, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground today. From the fundamental importance of just being intentional about thinking to these 11 specific thinking skills you can actually develop, all based on John C. Maxwell's really insightful work. What an incredible deep dive into the power of the mind and how we can apply it, like, every single day.
Indeed. It's a lot to take in, but so valuable. And if we connect all this back to the bigger picture, Maxwell leaves us with some really profound final thoughts. He reminds us, 1, everything begins with a thought. Ralph Waldo Emerson observed, "Life consists of what a man is thinking about all day." Your inner world truly shapes your outer reality.
Thoughts create reality.
2, what we think determines who we are, and who we are determines what we do. Thoughts are essentially the blueprint for our identity and our actions. 3, our thoughts determine our destiny, and our destiny determines our legacy. James Allen puts it so starkly, "You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you." It's a direct link.
Wow, where your thoughts take you.
4, people who go to the top think differently than others. Maxwell says, nothing limits achievement like small thinking. Nothing expands possibilities like unleashed thinking. It's a clear differentiator between average and exceptional. And finally, number 5, we can change the way we think. This is key. It's not a fixed trait you're born with. The Apostle Paul encourages us to actively think on whatever things are true, noble, just pure, lovely, of good report, emphasizing the active choice we have in directing our thoughts.
We can change how we think. That's the hopeful message. So this raises a really important question for you, our listener. If your thoughts truly dictate your destiny, your legacy, what one thinking habit from all these incredible insights we've unpacked today, maybe it's big picture thinking, or focused, creative, realistic, strategic, possibility, reflective, questioning, popular thinking, shared, unselfish, or bottom line thinking? What one habit will you commit to cultivating starting now to transform your daily life? Just think about the ripple effect that one intentional change could have.
That's the challenge. The choice is yours. The power of good thinking is right there, waiting for you to unleash it. Go out there and start thinking, and maybe more importantly, start applying these principles to create the life and the legacy you truly envision.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep thinking, keep growing, and keep diving deep.